Welcome back, YouTube. It is Sunday, I think February 6th, 2022. It's about 20 degrees outside this morning, so I've got the heater on here in the garage, but my heater's pitiful, so in other words, I'm gonna freeze for a while. This morning is a little bit of prep work for the next project that we have going on with the Mustang. We are going to do some rearranging in the trunk. I think Josh has given some previews over the last couple videos. We are going to do a rear seat delete, but in order to do a rear seat delete, I need to get these amplifiers off of the back seat because there's not going to be a seat there. So I am going to take everything apart today so I can put my thinking cap on and figure out exactly what it is I want to do. But whatever it is, I want it to be, I want it to look clean, professional. I do know that I'm going to build a partition between the cab and the trunk. I think I'm going to offset it to the back of the car a little bit so I can hide the amps on the far side of this. And then I am going to mount the subwoofer in the center of that partition. As I was doing some searching online, I found a couple of other individuals that had done something very similar. I thought it looked extremely clean, gives me a way to hide the amps, gives me a way to cut down on the wiring, plus make it look really clean. So if I just take away 6 inches at the front of the trunk, remove the sub, put that in the partition, I'm going to retain most of the trunk space, which is irrelevant. It really is, because we are going to put a battery box over on this side, relocate the battery to the trunk. Why? I don't know. Just because we like it, and it's kind of cool. But it's just something we're going to do. So, with that being said, what I'm going to work on today is removing the rear seat. I need to have access, you know, this direction so I can build this box or this partition the way that I want it built. First thing I need to do is get these 2 seat backs out. I may leave the bottom in there just so I have somewhere to sit on while I'm working through the opening into the trunk. Get the amplifiers off of the seat backs. And then put my thinking cap on because I really have no idea what this partition is going to look like. I do have a couple pieces of 3/4 MDF that I purchased, so that's what I'm going to make the box out of. I have no idea how I'm going to attach it to the trunk though. So without further ado, let me get to deconstructing the back seat. Alright, little secret that I like to use. I picked this up a while ago. It's just 3D tape, wire marker, tape dispenser. It allows you to pull out just a small section of tape. Has a numbered system on it, 0 through 9. So I can mark where on, in this case, where on the amplifier I am, you know, putting a particular wire, and then I can wrap around the wire so I know exactly where I need to put it back. Might save me some time, might be a waste of time. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. At this point, I do need to pull the seat bottom out. It is extremely simple. There's just 2 latches, and you just kind of pick up one on either side, push the seat belt receptacles through the bottom, and up it comes. And the seat bottom is out. Now with the seat bottom out, I can go ahead and take out the brackets that hold the seat itself in. Right off the bat, I see 2, one on either side. That should take off the reclining mechanism. Nope, got 3. So, I don't know if you can see it real well, but there is 3 bolts, or 3 nuts here. It looks like, I don't know, maybe 19 millimeter. We'll get those 3 out, and I should be able to take the 2 seat backs and move them out of the way. All right, let's talk extensions for a second. All right, in a previous video, I talked about when you buy, your extensions, go ahead and buy them with the little knurling, the little rough spot on here. It's amazing how slick they get when you start getting a little grease on your fingers, or brake fluid, hydraulic fluid, transmission fluid, whatever it is. This makes it so much easier when you're trying to just utilize this with your hand and spin. But another feature that a really nice set of extensions will have is not only the ability to, put some distance between your ratchet and your socket, but a lot of nicer extensions have a second set of indents. So they're called wobble extensions. It makes it very nice that you can push it all the way in, have a normal, straight, rigid extension. But if you need just a slight angle in which to get to the nut or bolt head that you're working on, wobble extensions are an extremely nice feature to have. All right, leave it up to Ford to have one bracket with 2 different size nuts holding it on. This is actually a 15 now that I look at it, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to use a socket, because right here in the corner of this seat is the seat bracket. So no matter how much I would like to use a wobble extension or even a universal to be able to get a socket on this, because there's the metal bracket internal to the seat is right here, I'm not going to be able to do it. So ratchet wrench it is, not too terribly difficult, but it just makes my whole point of a wobble extension pointless. And since we got the 1 bolt that I had to use the ratchet wrench on with the seats in the up position, there is 1 final nut on the back side. So again, that's a 15 millimeter. And finally, now that we've got the 4 fasteners across the bottom mount, it looks like there are 3 10 millimeter across the top. I lied to you. Trust me, it wasn't intentional. But those 3 10 millimeter bolts only take off the front of this trim piece and allow you to get that out of the way. It is held in with more of these push pins, that come in from the top side. So they latch, I'll get you in camera here. So they latch here, here, and here. So just gently push those up so they do not break apart on you. Set that to the side, and now looks like I have 2 more 10 millimeter bolts across the top. In addition to what we have taken out, the piece of carpet that you see that comes out of the trunk, the original trim piece, has some push pins, and of course they're holding everything together. So now, I've mentioned this tool in the past, for getting these little plastic, I call them push pins. I'm not real sure what the proper term is, but if you're going to do anything with trim work, buy a set of these tools, or these pliers, because they'll make your life much, much, much easier. Rear seat is completely out. So now it's time to clean up, get all my hardware put in a bag, just so I know where it goes and I don't lose it. Protect everything, make sure that trim piece is put where I can get to it when I'm ready to go back in. And then I can start measuring and figuring out exactly how I'm going to build this partition. So a lot of brain power coming up next, and once I get it figured out, I'll fire the camera back up. See you in a bit.